Hello everyone, Kaiyo here, and I welcome you to a progress review of Dragon Block B. Now a lot of folks have heard about this mod and how it's been in progress for the past 4 or so years. There have been some reviews and a Q&A about the mod's development a few years back, but I do want to shed some light on what this mod has been developing and the public previews they've given us over the past 2 years, ranging from attributes all the way to transformation showcases. Now, just to inform you, this mod is still in development, so don't expect all this public content that ranges over the past 2 years to be finalized. I hope you enjoy. Now let's get on to the first step you'll be taking when entering a new world: character creation. Now, for all of you who are new to DBV, they actually have their own wiki for the mod. So those who actually do play the mod when it releases, don't get lost. I have supplied both the wiki link and others down below in the description, so go take a look if you want before we begin over the basics. After all, you'll need to know how to play your new character. After creating your character, you'll be able to access their attributes menu. Now, each of these attributes relate to one another in some form, let alone controlling how strong, fast, tanky, or disciplined one can be. So let's go over these real quick. If you want to skip ahead to the next chapter, feel free to do so, but these are the basics. Your attributes will be split into 6 different areas, each with a hard cap, and a max amount of points one can earn. All the attributes are listed as showcase, so if you want to pause and read, go ahead. Otherwise, all these attributes correlate to being a functioning fighter, with discipline and spirit being extremely important if you don't want your ki to leak. So make sure your discipline is higher than your spirit, or you'll have a leakage. There are 3 different types of training: physical, spiritual, and attribute training. The first 2 have a basic and advanced option for each type, and amongst everything, the more and more advanced you get in your training, the worse the minigames will get, let alone with gravity. If you mess up during your training, stamina will be consumed. It is unknown whether or not if harder training will consume more stamina, but we will find out. The body part system is a unique way players can take damage, with each body part affecting you in different ways, such as the head, which debuffs your discipline when below 50% health on that section. This in exchange will cause your ki control to worsen and have your ki leak more and more in a fight. Meanwhile, something more important is your torso. When your torso runs out of health, you'll enter a downed state. Limbs, on the other hand, can be used to attack or block depending on which set you are currently using. If a limb hits 0%, they will be broken, thus reducing your blocking power by half with that set of limbs. Limbs, besides being able to be broken of course, can also be sliced or blown off using a weapon or ki. Now, as a little showcase, there is actually a little bit of footage, as you can see here, of different limbs being damaged, such as these 2 legs being damaged, and later on in this video, arms, both arms, all limbs, a little bit of everything. You'll see a lot of different damaged body parts in this clip, so go ahead and enjoy. In this next section, we'll be covering the different GUIs and menus in the mod, along with the showcases of animations you'll see when you play the mod. There are mainly visuals in this section, so if you want to see other content, please skip ahead to the next section. Just like any other game's menu and settings, you'll have access to a variety of different things you can mess with, ranging from brightness to VSync and many other things you can already do in base Minecraft. But on top of this, you can go through and tweak your actual graphic settings in case you have a lower end PC or have issues running with certain capabilities. Otherwise, check out the settings yourself in the clip. You also have other things like physics, such as the clothing physics you can see here, as well as other physics you'll see later on, such as wind, rain, dust clouds, so on and so forth. I hope you enjoy. Now let's continue with this next part. We'll be focusing on smaller features, ranging from clothing customization all the way to large features such as transformations. Unlike the previous two sections that have focused on the base of the mod only, these are all features you'll experience through various playthroughs. I hope you enjoy. For races that can breathe in space, an oxygen mask is a necessity. On top of this, you'll be able to form a helmet around you when you're wearing it, in order to actually stop that high-pitched sound. Another new feature is blacksmithing. Of course, if you don't want to do this, you can always purchase your weapons from shops or anything else. However, forging your weapons will give you your own unique way of fighting. Of course, everyone's a little different. Some people like daggers, some people like long swords, and some might like staffs. It's all up to you in the blacksmith system. So as you saw with King Yemma, there's a new currency called Yemma coins. Of course, this is not a finalized variation of it, so what you saw earlier is just a work in progress and a placeholder at best. However, via doing quests for King Yemma and maybe other Otherworld people, you'll be able to earn these coins in order to revive yourself. Of course, there are some limitations per se, but you'll have to find out when you play. This to me is a really good world building element they have to this mod. The fact you actually have to quickly input a button press just to not fall off the tower is so perfect, just like original Dragon Ball. Another great nod at original Dragon Ball is the fact you have to use the power pole in order to reach Kami's lookout. I love these elements they include. It really adds to the world building of the mod and the atmosphere. Another great element of Kami's Lookout is the fact you actually can find the Room of Spirit and Time here. Now, this is not a polished version of it, as there are more restrictions in the mod. You can mainly find this either in the wiki or in the question chat if you ask people on Discord about it, as you're not able just to go freely in and out. There are more restrictions. However, the one thing you'll notice is the time dilation. the Inner Dojo, the place where you go through and you work on the way your combat style looks, your idle and flying poses, and a little bit of everything else. This is a great addition they've made, and I hope you enjoy. So before we get on to the final bits of content, such as transformations and forms, I would like to clarify once again, none of this is fully finalized, and the mod is still in development. Now, as for when it might release, that is still up in the air. However, the devs have said that it should hopefully not take as long as 2 years, unless the worst possible thing happens. Of course, this is not an official estimate, so don't trust that fully. Otherwise, enjoy. So yeah, that's all the features we've seen so far for the public for the past 2 years, plus a ton of wiki changes, Trello updates, and much more things for the patrons. Of course, I can't show everything in one video. There's a lot more out there, both on their YouTube channel, Discord, Wiki, and much more. So if you want to go see more, go check it out yourself. I left the links down below, so go enjoy. Otherwise, I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe. Otherwise, this is Kaiyo. Bye!